Skinner and Demulus in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning and happy birthday to Christina Jacob of New Hartford from Mom and Amina.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. We're really glad to be back on the air, and we hope that you all enjoyed the Olympics as much as we did. Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to follow a creek, and we're going to start in Salt Springville and follow the Canajoharie Creek all the way down to where it dumps into the Mohawk. So we hope you will come along and enjoy the trip.
Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my dear. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to leave you here.
Today, watch the first ever regular season all-men's roller derby tournament. Roller derby teams from across the U.S. compete today from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with finals at 7 p.m. Tickets available at the door at the JFK Arena on West Embargo Street in Rome. It's time for the Skinner and Demulus road trip. We stop into Skinner and Demulus in Richfield Springs, where Dan has a brand new Dodge Dart waiting to go. We're taking this groundbreaking new compact on its first adventure. We're following the Canajoharie Creek from Salt Springville through small rural hamlets to Canajoharie, where the creek spills into the Mohawk River. The Canajoharie Creek originates just southwest of Salt Springville, near the historic Windfall Dutch Barn. We've been here before, but it's always worth a visit. This pre-revolutionary structure was used as a resting and feeding place during the march of General Clinton on the way to the Susquehanna River. It was restored with the help of many local volunteers and is now the site for concerts, dances, poetry readings, and is available for parties, weddings, and reunions.
But Lord, how I wish that grass would change to money.
This Saturday at 7 p.m., enjoy an evening of reading at the annual poetry reading at the Windfall Dutch Barn in Salt Springville, presented by the Central New York Writers Workshop.
Cars rolling and rumbling past my door. Now they're standing in a rusty line, all empty, and the yelling don't stop here anymore.
Following a creek is a great adventure because it's never a direct route, but it's sure to take you through some old communities that were settled generations ago along the banks of the stream. We follow the map tracing the meandering creek through beautiful countryside to the tiny hamlet of Springbrook. Signs lead us to the local gathering spot.
We are here at the Brook Country Store. Now what's unique about this place is you can come here any time of the day, including today. You can have dinner at breakfast time, you can have breakfast at dinner time, you can have both anytime. So it's worth the drive down here, believe me. And on Friday nights, so many people come here that the cars are parked all the way up to the mountain.
Probably trucks.
Trucks too, a lot of trucks.
The Sprout Brook Country Store is open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or dinner, lunch, and breakfast.
Bones, hobos, freeloaders, tattered and dirty. Free life is all they will live.
We continue our adventure along the Canajoharie Creek through an area known as Buell. We don't know much about it, but find some beautiful grand homes and gardens. And some unusual garden sculptures.
And the dusty railroad track. Close my eyes when I hear the wheels clickety-clack. Behind these walls is all the life I know.
Canajoharie Creek takes us to one of the smallest villages in New York State, the village of Ames. It was settled by pioneers from New England around 1779. We learn more at the beautiful Sunset Corners Country Store. We are told that E.B. White, the author of the children's classics Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web, spent time here in Ames, and the village is mentioned in his book, Stuart Little. It is in Ames where character Stuart Little meets a 2-inch tall little girl named Harriet Ames.
E.B. White came to this very place, and it's very possible, extremely likely, that he may have sat at one of these tables as he wrote Stuart Little.
Times go, but one thing stays the same. It's the feeling I get when I look around.
Stay tuned for more along the Canajoharie Creek after the break. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11:35 p.m. on WKTV. And check out what's new on MohawkValleyLiving.com.
What you take or give, and it's here I want to live. Yes, I'm making this valley my own.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Come in and check out the exciting new 2013 Dodge Dart. Test drive this groundbreaking compact sedan with Dodge performance and style. See what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Visit the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown for Step Back in Time weekends. August 25th and 26th is Animal Power. Oxen and horses will demonstrate cultivating and driving. Watch the blacksmith working on draft animal equipment and learn how animals shaped our farming history. Buy the bushel and save at North Star Orchards. Take advantage of summer's bounty and stock up now for freezing and canning. Pick a peck of peppers. Choose from 8 varieties. Enjoy sweet nectarines and peaches from New York and Pennsylvania. Buy the bushel and save at North Star Orchards in Westmoreland. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products. At Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Dave Morgan Productions presents An Afternoon Lost in the Ozone Again with the Commander Cody Band and special guests to benefit the Stephen Swan Humane Society Sunday, September 23rd. Admission is $20 plus a bag of pet food. Doors open at 2, music at 3 at the VFW on Mohawk Street in Herkimer, Sunday, September 23rd. Enjoy an evening of readings presented by members of the Central New York Writers Workshop. Be a part of this annual tradition at the Windfall Dutch Barn this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Take Route 20 to East Springfield and head north 5 miles to Salt Springville. Have a tropical adventure and walk among hundreds of free-flying butterflies, tropical birds, plants, lizards, and frogs at the Pop Butterfly Conservatory. It's an unforgettable experience for all ages. Open 7 days a week on Route 7 in Oneonta.
Please forgive me. He held her close and kissed her.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible.
For the last time.
We continue along the wandering Canajoharie Creek that begins to head north past rolling pastures and farms. Like the fox in Wendell Berry's poem, we make more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction, and end up at Wrong Direction Farm, named after the lines in the poem. The Perozzi family moved here from the suburbs of New Jersey in response to their growing concern about where their children's food came from. Now the family is raising pastured pigs, poultry, and is beginning to build a herd of grass-fed beef.
We feed our pigs on pasture, so they're never confined to any kind of barn or anything like that. They're always out on pasture. Then when they're out on pasture, they eat a lot of grass, a lot of legumes, and other things that they find out there. They dig through the dirt and they root up grubs, and who knows what else they're eating out there. We feed them whey from our neighbor's cheese shop, and we feed them organic grains. And then from time to time we get loads of produce, and the pigs go crazy for that. We like to give them fresh produce, especially in the winter when there's not much green. We think the produce is really helpful for them. The kids are healthier, I think. They're stronger, and you can see them running up and down the hills, and you know, they like the animals. They like the learning about the husbandry aspects of taking care of pigs and calves and chickens, and they've participated in the births of several pigs, and they've watched chicks hatch, and they've watched calves go from day old to 700 pounds. And it's been good for them, I think.
There was music in the valley. There was music in the air.
We continue to follow the Canajoharie Creek as it makes its way north. At Wintergreen Park, we see the work of a glacial river 10,000 years ago that carved the 3-mile Canajoharie Gorge. You can hike a mile-long path that leads to a waterfall observation deck to view the 45-foot-high Canajoharie Falls. We travel to the north end of the gorge and park on Floral Avenue and walk to the creek. Here we find the origins of the name of the village and the town of Canajoharie, a large circular pothole that was carved into solid rock by the glacial river, now the Little Canajoharie Creek.
Canajoharie was named for the Mohawk term Canajoharie. 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 That's close enough, which means the pot that washes itself. There's one right behind me here. It's amazing when you think about it that millions of years ago, Mother Nature carved this out of this limestone rock. And here it is to enjoy today.
To see what we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley.
We head into the village of Canajoharie to see what's new since our last visit. We hear there's some new artists at Picture Perfect Art Gallery. We find Doreen busy at work cutting mats for artwork. She introduces us to local artist Elizabeth Apgar Smith, whose paintings tell the story of local farmers.
I see the farmers as sort of heroic figures, and I love the fact that, you know, I mean, this is not a life that you would choose if you don't absolutely love it. And every single one of the farmers I've talked to and worked with absolutely loves the life, and they talk about how wonderful, you know, the land fills them with energy, and just they're always excited to see me come because I'm giving them again heroic stature as far as seeing their life as important and what they do. I've worked with farmers who raise livestock and other farmers who are just doing crops, but it's a whole nother culture, lifestyle that is it's important to us, you know, and so many farms are dropping by the wayside. So I thought it was important to show that, especially the small family farms that need to keep going.
I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me tonight now, baby, just don't.
Stay tuned for more along the Canajoharie Creek after the break.
I'll cry the whole night through 'cause I'm missing you and all of your kisses now, baby.
In 1866, James B. Turnbull walked to farms and villages to visit his customers, earning their trust. Today, the fourth generation of Turnbulls continue that dedication, tailoring a life insurance plan to suit your unique needs and priorities. Turn to the company that is out there to earn your trust. Turn to Turnbull. It's the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th, featuring all forms of art and all genres of music. There are also children's activities, food, and more at the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th. Celebrated regional artists will be in Old Forge for the annual plein air paint out. Watch them paint and pick out your favorite before the art auction on Sunday at 5. There's a preview cocktail party Saturday night at 5:30. Visit viewarts.org for information. Dream big at the Women's Leadership Conference at Brook. Life coach Teresa Huggins hosts a weekend of discovery and personal growth at the lavish Grand Lodge at Blue Mountain Lake. Visit teresadhuggins.com to register for the Leadership Conference.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospitals on Sundays
is a part of Mohawk Valley living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment, and you're only available on the weekend. Sure, I have an appointment Sunday with Dr. Karen. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Taste the homemade difference at Maria's Pasta Shop. Homemade lasagna, manigot, stuffed shells, ravioli, and more. Gelato is back for the season. Stop in and sample this Italian treat at Maria's Pasta Shop. Meelan's Meat Market is your meat headquarters, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and store-made kielbasa. Every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Meelan himself. You'll find everything from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh at Meelan's Meat Market in Clark Mills. Savor the flavor of authentic Southeast Asian cuisine at the Lotus Garden Noodle and Sushi House. The Pooh family welcomes you to lunch or dinner at the Lotus Garden, 339 Bleecker Street in downtown Utica.
Loyalty is something you can't sell, not something that you find in a wishing well.
We head one street over from Picture Perfect Art Gallery in Canajoharie to a beautiful historic home, now home to Harry's Pottery and Antiques. Owner Harry Barse has over 20 potters represented here and recently started throwing himself about 4 years ago.
It's very peaceful and very therapeutic to throw pottery. I've been involved with the Empty Bowls out of Troy, New York, and a lot of the potters are, local potters, and down Schenectady and Troy and Albany and Altamont and so forth. So it's all local artisans here in New York State, and we just have to have a place to sell our wares, and so what better place than this old 1855 house, and little by little I'm fixing it up, and it's my store.
It was the boom town around here when Gillette stepped off that train. Canals flowing, hops growing, new towns being raised. There were fortunes to be made, he was a well-dressed one-man show. A tail spinner, a heart winner with a lusty ego. It was a boom town around here, how I wished I was there.
It's been a few years since we last featured the Arkell Museum, and no trip to Canajoharie is complete without visiting this wonderful space. The museum's 7 galleries feature great American artworks from the country's most influential painters.
Well, it's really Bartlett Arkell, the reason this whole museum exists. He was the founder and first president of Beechnut. And he actually grew up in Canajoharie and went away to school, went to work with his brother in New York City, and then came back and founded Beechnut. He collected mostly American artists, and some of the artists he collected were already very well established artists. These weren't up-and-coming artists. Many of them had already firmly established reputations within the American art world. But a few of the works he collected were by artists who worked in Vermont and New Hampshire that he and his family actually knew. But the majority of the works were like from people who were a generation or two, older than him. And some of these are views of the Mohawk Valley, and we have a lot of those on display right now. Well, this summer we have 2 shows up that are going to be up through October. One is an American Impressionist watercolor and pastel show, and this is really the time to come because these works don't go out of storage very often because they're very, very fragile. We have works by Cassatt and Hassam and Sargent. It's a wonderful show. Everybody should come see. We also have a real interesting exhibit called Pastoral and Parkland, which shows American landscape painting.
Now on display at the Arkell Museum are American landscape paintings, and also American Impressionism, masterworks in watercolor and pastels, through October 2012. The museum is open Monday through Friday 10 to 5 and Saturday and Sunday 1 to 5. Since our last visit to Canajoharie, a new restaurant has opened on Church Street. The Elephant Bistro offers a fresh seasonal menu in a charming dining area with expansive ceilings featuring local artwork. It didn't take long for people to discover this place.
The Elephant Bistro is a new restaurant here in Canajoharie since our last visit. And I'll tell you one thing, come here and try everything from the soup to the dessert, because they're fantastic. And hopefully when you come down here, they'll have bean soup, because I haven't had bean soup that good since my mother's way back in Cornhill.
I have a lot of really talented girls in the kitchen that do the cooking. I help in the kitchen as well when I'm needed. We all get together for the menu, and we change it twice a year. We have a spring, summer, and then a winter, fall menu. Originally, I wanted it to feel like European, you know, with the tall ceilings and the warm colors. That was the feeling we were going for, and it's sort of evolved over time. You know, we've added things here and there. So I don't know. People say it's like Saratoga in Canajoharie, so that's nice.
The Elephant Bistro on Church Street in Canajoharie is open for lunch Tuesday through Thursday, and lunch and dinner on Fridays. On Friday night, you can enjoy their homemade soups, accompanied by the popular local band, Stone Soup.
Wake up, darling, darling, what makes you sleep so Officers are coming, they're ringing around the town. Get away from my
We're called Stone Soup, and we've been playing together for, well, since about 1999, 2000. We started playing around in the Mohawk Valley. We play at a lot of like historical venues. Fort Clark is one of our favorites. We have played at Nella's Tavern before, which is also a historic venue. We play at churches. We play at festivals. We love festivals. We get together whenever we can. We love to get together at each other's houses, have a little party, invite friends and family, neighbors over, and everyone brings a dish to pass, and then we just keep playing.
Fill my pockets once more. I was born and raised with the mouth of the desert holler. Coal cars rolling and rumbling past my door. Now they're standing in a rusty line, all empty. And the yelling at don't stop here anymore.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Come in and check out the exciting new 2013 Dodge Dart. Test drive this groundbreaking compact sedan with Dodge performance and style. See what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. Pool have a leak? Need a repair? Call Trenton Corporation Pool Repair for prompt professional service 7 days a week. Above ground and in ground leak locating, plumbing, and fittings testing. Call 793-7400 and they'll hop to it. Oscar's Picture Framing offers hand-finished molding and restoration of antique frames, preserving artwork, pictures, needlework, and memorabilia. Oscar's Picture Framing, Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Visit the exhibits at the Oneida Community Mansion House. On display, the braidings of Jessie Catherine Kinsley, the needlework of the Oneida Community Women, and Lady Hamilton tableware. Tour the exhibits and the gardens at the Oneida Community Mansion House in Oneida. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. The Village Crossing is having a 30% off summer fashion clearance sale going on now to make way for transitional fashions. Hurry into the Village Crossing on West Park Row in Clinton. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. The Longaretta Law Firm, protecting your rights and advising you in matters of legal importance. Call for your free consultation, 735-6162. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. It's the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th, featuring all forms of art and all genres of music. There are also children's activities, food, and more at the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th. If you're in a collision, you need Precision. Call your insurance company first and then choose Precision Unlimited, providing expert auto body collision repair since 1987 on Route 5 in Clinton.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself.
really good news this year is there's very little blight, if any at all, around the gardens for tomatoes. Everybody remembers the horrific summer a couple of summers ago, and we lost a lot of tomatoes. This year they should be pretty healthy, and they're coming in really nice size. We got the rain when we needed them. If your garden is like ours and you're getting a lot of tomatoes, the redder they are, the riper they are, and the best flavor they have. And remember, don't ever refrigerate your tomatoes because that just sort of stifles all the good flavors. Now, some people like to can a little bit at a time, or they make one big giant chore of it and they do it all at once. But if you do a little bit at a time, you can freeze it, you can simmer it in a crock pot, you can do it at your leisure, and then freeze them in baggy sizes. That's a good way in small batches. Otherwise, you know, you get into big processing and you can go ahead and can it. Some people like to go with the salsas. Good time of year with the basil, fresh basil's out, and it'll last throughout the winter. I don't know anybody that really doesn't enjoy a good tomato sandwich. This time of year, there's nothing better. You know, tomatoes come in all different sizes, shapes, different varieties. You can have the heirloom tomatoes, the brandy wines, which are a little softer, have probably the best flavor, or just a nice big beefsteak, which is a classification for any big tomato, really. Can't beat this time of year.
What an adventure we had today, following the Canajoharie Creek all the way from the Salt Springfield area right down here to Canajoharie, where it meets the Mohawk River. We found more along the way than we expected, so we didn't have enough time to cover everything that we would like to cover. So we're coming back here next week, and we hope you will join us, and that between now and then, you'll enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
What it is singing. Honey, honey, I got to know you. Ain't got no money, but I got plenty to show you. Honey, honey, meet me on the river road. Chichi Raposo got a head like a bean. He steers a T-bird like you never seen. Picks up the young